Here it is. It ends quite abruptly, that one, doesn't it?
Just did it.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, okay. All right. That's it. That's done.
Oh,
How you doing, mate? How's it going?
I'm quite excited for this.
Yeah. It's happy. What day is it? Happy Tuesday. Recording this on a Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, yeah.
We've both been on our travels. So
it's funny because this was quite spontaneous, and we literally just said, I was like, oh, what are we going to talk about, man? And then it was just, we were like, you know what? Let's just do a check-in.
yeah.
And I was just like, I was so relieved. You know, when you do these, like, you do like a conversation or podcast, and you're like, let's talk about self-sabotage in trading. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to think and do that. But you were like, no, let's just do a check-in.
Yeah.
And I need a check-in.
Let's just let it out. Let's just,
Yes.
just check in. How you doing? Virtual hug, all that stuff,
I need a virtual beer.
I need a real one. It's only 20 past 11 in the morning. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man. But listen, we've both been on our travels lately. So you went to Dubai, didn't you, for a few days to get away?
So yeah, last time we talked, I was going through my little dip, and the Dubai trip was really nice, just to get out and just not focus on the charts, not focused on my day job, go and enjoy myself, be alone. And Dubai was really, really, really nice. Loved it, enjoyed it. Bloody expensive.
Needs more payouts again.
I do. Did some very impulsive spending. Bought a new, iPhone.
Oh dear.
But I was like, I need something. I need that buzz.
You were chasing that dopamine, weren't you?
I was chasing that dopamine. So the only thing that you could do is like, okay, fine, let's go for shopping. And the only iPhone that they had was whatever iPhone. So I was like, but it was good. It was really, really nice just to clean everything out, come back here, and there's also more holidays. So now I actually just want to get back to work.
Yeah, yeah. What so you stepped away from the charts completely when you were away? Because how long were you away for? You were like almost a week, wasn't it?
4 days, 5 days. Yeah. In all fairness, I did come back in, and I still tried to push it a little bit, and just noticed that the mind, it was just still didn't let it go. Now I'm starting to let it go. Now I'm being a bit more relaxed. And I think in any type of industry, you're going to have dips.
Yeah.
And the dips, as long as they're progression,
yeah,
then that's totally fine. And you've just got to understand that sometimes you have little beliefs that kind of hold you to a certain area. And with a little bit of, a little bit of hard work, you can kind of get through that dip. But that's it, man. What about you? How's everything going?
Yeah, well, had a week away with the family. Took we went with the wife's family and her parents, her brother and her sister, our kids. We all went for a week down to the west coast of Italy, just down south of Pisa, to a place called Punta Alla. Really, really nice. Punta Alla. Yeah. So, had a really nice house with a pool and everything else. But my God, it was freezing. Like that pool, it felt like going into an ice bath.
Really?
And nobody swims apart from me. So, and the kids, like my son James, he was like, no, not so sure. My daughter, she was all over it. She was like, right, okay, I'm going in, and she didn't care how cold it was. Like she literally, her lips were going blue, and she was like, I'm not getting out. I'm not getting out. She's 3 years old, and she was like, no, I'm not getting out. So yeah, but we were right next to the beach. Taught my son how to ride his bike, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And my daughter went horse riding a couple of times as well. So they had a really, really good time. Some core memories hopefully locked in for them. We were lucky with the weather. It was actually end of season, so a lot of places were already closed or closing, but there was nobody there. It was like literally we had beaches to ourselves. So it was like 20, 25 degrees. in
That's
London.
warm.
Yeah, so it was, it wasn't.
So why was the water so cold?
I don't know. The pool just wasn't getting heated. It wasn't a heated pool or whatever, and it was shaded pretty well. The sea was
Mm,
warmer than the pool. Like
yeah,
it was ridiculous, but no, it was a great week away. Back now working on all sorts of different projects. Obviously this one with you, a few other bits and pieces,
yeah.
personal projects, personal trading, and obviously my stuff with the fivers as well. So yeah, so it's busy.
It's
It's a
it's
good
it's
busy, but it's
it can
hard.
be, yeah, it can be quite intense, isn't it? Because I think I discussed with you as well, like the 9 to 5, that 9 to 5 job, even though it's needed, it's not something that you want to do, and it takes a lot of time
Yeah,
and a lot of energy, and it takes it from the things that you actually want
yeah,
to be doing instead. Like I wanted to do, I still want to do the community for prop traders, pathway to prop, the stuff that I wanted to get yourself, Jonathan, and everybody involved with, but I can't put my time and effort and everything into that alongside the 9 to 5, alongside my mental energy while I'm in this bit of dip.
yeah,
And I do want to free. I want to free all of that up, but it's very, very difficult when you've got overheads, you've
yeah,
got a life, you've got children, you've got a family. I'm lucky enough. I wouldn't say lucky enough, but I haven't got that on me at the moment.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I think if I look back, like my wife and I have been together this year. In fact, this month we're together 10 years. Right,
wow.
we met each other 10 years ago. And I think back to the time before that, I was a corporate slave, and I spent a long time as being a corporate slave. And when I met her, she was in her mid-20s. She just opened up her own business, her own cafe. And I just looked back. I thought, wow, this girl is amazing. She's just gone out there. She's just fearless, and she's just opened up her own business, working for herself, answerable to no one, and that just appealed to me in every possible way. And ever since, I've looked at her and thought, do you know what? Kudos to you for having the balls to go out of uni and basically just go and do what you want to do and not work for somebody else. I never had that. I was always like, I need that security. I need that cushion, that buffer. Um, but I've always had that entrepreneurial kind of like desire to work for myself and do something for myself. But it's hard to find that opportunity, because a lot of the time, like you say, you need that capital to start these things. You can do small things on the side, but it all takes time. And my mistake was not, no, it's not my mistake, but my approach used to be, in the corporate world very much, was I am all in 24/7. Like I lived and breathed that job. It was almost like it defined who I was. And it was only after I became a father, the pandemic hit, and suddenly everything just changed. And my identity, actually, I lost it for a while. And I was trying to figure out how to be a father and what kind of father I wanted to be and all that sort of stuff. The only thing I think now is I was watching a video the other day. I think now with all this AI stuff and everything else, it feels a bit like the 2000s, like the early 2000s with the .com bubble.
Mm.
Where there is opportunities, endless opportunities to do stuff, to build stuff if you spend some time and what have you. But there's only so much time in the day. I saw there was there's a house in San Francisco, this big old house that was built for the Pope to come and visit San Francisco. This is years and years and years ago. And they've renovated this house, and it's now it's almost like a college alumni type place. Basically, you go in for a 3-month period to live there, and there's all sorts of different founders and different startup people and everything else who go in, and they are just fully focused. And this house, they provide them with meals twice a day. There's a bell that's rung to say your meal's ready, to not to break their cycle and break their focus and everything else. These guys are just pounding it. I watched an interview with one of the people there, and they said they hadn't left that house for like 4 days. like they've just been on it the entire time. And that's the only, I feel as though that's what holds us back, is
Focus.
that focus. Yeah, you know, I'm trying. I've deleted all social media from my phone. I don't. The only thing I have on my phone is YouTube, and even that is an Achilles heel for me, because I go onto YouTube and I'll watch one of the live streams, and then I end up watching some shorts and this, and it's like, oh man, I've just wasted half an hour. You know, and it's really really hard to kind of keep that focus. The other thing is though, our jobs, you call it 9 to 5. It's not 9 to 5 anymore. It's not though, is it?
It never was.
It never was, but do you know
Whereas
what I
it
mean?
never
Like
was a 9 to 5.
that old adage of being right, I'm going to work 9 till 5, and those are my hours, doesn't happen anymore. You know, like last night, I had a call at 9:30 in the evening, my time, with one guy in Brazil and one guy in New Zealand that I'm working with, and it was like, but that's the job that I've got. So in a way, it feels as though that structure that the 9 to 5 would give you would, in a way, give you the time. Do you know what I mean? Like if you were doing, right, I know that from 9 till 5 I'm doing this job, and then 5 o'clock onwards I can do, in the evening I can do whatever I need to do, or before 9 I can do whatever I need to do. It's all kind of blurred. It's all kind of mashed up. Do you know what I mean? And it means you've got to have so much more discipline on yourself to spend the time, for example, doing like what we're doing right now, you know, and taking the time to work on a project and put the time and the effort into something, you know. That's hard.
It's quite interesting why, as well, when we work for other people, I'm talking about in general now, we work for other people, we work on their business and we work on our own. Why is that? I don't understand why that is, because I see it. If I go back to, like your dog was ill. Remember, it was ill,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
you had to probably give it medicine and treat it, and you probably never really didn't give it medicine. You know, you were on time, you took it to its follow-ups, you stuff
Yeah.
like that. But when it's time to give ourselves medicine,
Actually, that reminds me. Actually,
yeah,
yeah.
you know, we don't do it on time, and we don't do. And why is that? Like,
I
why?
think we're too distracted. We're too distracted.
You think it's that?
I think we've got so much going on. Like, do you remember we were talking about Pathway to Prop, right? And we spent weeks debating back and forth what platform we were going to do it on. One of the things you said to me was, why can't it be on WhatsApp? Because that's just something that you're always on, right? But you think about it, like you've got Discord, you've got WhatsApp, you've got Telegram, you've got emails, you've got text messages, you've got all the social media platforms and everything else. Like, you literally have so many people messaging you from every angle, and then you're also trying to trade. Like, what? How am I supposed to trade whilst I've got all these pings and various noises and sounds coming at me at every opportunity? It's just that's why, you know. And the hardest thing is the routine. Build that routine, and then it's fine. Like, if I can set myself a reminder or something like that and start getting something going, fine. But I think don't they say it's like something like 2 weeks solid? If you do something for 2 weeks, then that's
21 days or something. Yeah.
Or is it 21 days? Like the hump you've got to break, and then your brain is like, okay, this has just got to be done, you know. And then it finds it harder to not do it than to actually do it, you know. I genuinely think that's the other thing is, as well, is we hold ourselves to much higher standards when it's perceived by somebody else. It's like you were saying about the job. Why do we put so much time and effort into somebody else essentially making money from our work? It's because we care about how that person perceives us. Whether we want to care about it or not is another matter, but we do, because they give us, you know, it's this transaction, isn't it? Right? We do a certain amount of work, we do a certain task, whatever. They pay us for that money, so we're providing them a service. They are technically our customer, and so that's why you kind of put yourself into it, you know. Whereas when it's our own stuff, the only person above us is us. And you know, I'm not saying that we're harsh on ourselves, but it's hard. In a way, we're too hard on ourselves, and we're like, oh, do you know what? It's not going to be good enough. Don't do it. Or do you know what I mean? Like for me, my internal dialogue is probably the biggest thing that holds me back. I'm
I think
so hard on myself.
I think that's with everybody.
So
I think
hard.
that's with a lot of. I think that's it's quite common, but
Mm.
it's also those belief systems of that hold us back. One of the biggest things in my trading, when I looked at some of the videos when I first got into prop trading,
Mm.
and I was trading pretty small, like one lot for me. I remember putting my first one lot trade on it. It was like my heart started beating fast.
Mm.
Um, and the belief at that time was like a lot of money. It's big volume. And then slowly by pushing, and not even pushing a big step, it
Yeah.
was just adding just a little bit or doing a bigger challenge,
Yeah.
started getting me used to that level of risk and that amount of stock and that amount of size.
Mm.
And then I look at myself now, and 10 lots feels to me small.
Yeah.
And I think if we take that now into just life,
Yeah.
it's like if you want to go from A all the way up to B,
Mm.
but you just want to go there straight away and do that massive jump. Now, that's going to be really, really, really difficult. And
Yeah.
I think because we are so focused on we want to be at the end goal,
Mm.
that we're not looking at taking those little milestones to get there.
Yeah.
We're not looking at,
100%.
okay, fine, if I want to do this pathway to prop, I want to do this community, then I've got to, everything's got to be ready and done. And
Mm.
but maybe it's just opening a group and having one channel and just having a couple of people that are chilling in there to
Yeah.
talk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Which is what it was, wasn't it? You know,
yeah,
that's what we've been doing for months now
well,
anyway, right?
where it came from as well. Part of it is because
Yeah. Yeah.
our full margin group, when we started it, it started off as just getting some of the people that were doing the content for the Fivers, having them in a group so
Mm.
we can communicate and organize stuff for the Fivers when I was running all the stuff there. And then it got to the point where we added another person, and I was like, all we're doing is talking about trading in this thing. Like, we're not even talking about work. We're just shooting
Like, you
signals.
long on this, you short on this. Yeah.
Yeah. Short in, long in, how much, like what position you're in, and all of that stuff. And then we're talking about crypto, and then we're getting into like these low liquidity crypto
Mm.
coins, and I'm like, what is this group turned into? And then we bring you on, and then the group's a little bit bigger, and then we bring Rich on, and then I'm like, well, this is not we're clearly not this is not a work channel anymore. This is just
This is now, it's almost like a brotherhood. It's almost like
yeah,
a, you know, it's just mates, you
yeah.
know, just chewing the fat and sharing ideas and sharing thoughts, right?
And that's where we turned it, full margin, and that's that community. I love that community because trading is so hard, and you can have a really good time and you feel like you're on top of the world, but eventually you're going to have the dip. Eventually you're going to have the pullback,
Mm.
and you don't know how deep that pullback can go. And it's nice to have a group of people that can really support you through that.
Yeah.
And pathway to prop as well, trading in general is, we're not just really talking about trading. Everything that we are talking about is really applicable to life, to business, to happiness, to relationships. It's all really entwined
Yeah.
with a person that is in a certain place where they are now and they want to get to a better place.
Yeah.
And you can have that in very, very micro groups.
Mm.
But I really want to cultivate a big group of people that really because there's something about, obviously, you go into a business and you're doing this and you're getting paid and all that stuff. Eventually, it doesn't really feel it. You don't feel anything from it. You don't get value.
Mm.
But there's something when you've helped somebody and they get
Yeah,
something from that, and you're
yeah,
like, it's quite selfish because I get more from it than they do, even
yeah,
though maybe I've given something.
yeah.
There's nothing
So
like, if you really want to make
it's
somebody
what
feel
it,
good, you ask them to help you.
it reminds me of that episode of Friends where Phoebe says that there's no such thing as a selfless good act.
Mm,
Um, selfless good deed. Sorry,
yeah,
that's
it's
true
true.
because helping
Wouldn't
somebody
do
else.
it. No.
You know, there is a reason. There's a subconscious reason why we help other people, and it's not just because there is a chemical reaction that happens in our brain when we see that person is happy because we did something for them.
Nobody's
You know?
paying for dinner for no reason. If it was,
Yeah,
everybody would split the bill. People like buying presents, they like paying, they like doing these different
exactly.
things because it makes them feel good. Um, and at the end of the day, a lot of people that get into trading, if they're not on the side of the institution side, most people are trying to get from A to B. They're in a place at the moment that they want to get to another place.
Yeah.
And trading is just a vehicle to do that.
Mm.
And it's good to have a group of people that can help go through that, but it is difficult. And life's difficult as well, man. Look at some of the stuff going on in the world right now.
It's you think about it, right? You look at how we like put our time and our effort and our energy into our trading and everything else. And as you say, we're just trying to better ourselves, like better our lives, better our experience, better our conditions, whatever you want to call it. Um, you know what I do like about our little group is that none of us are. Yeah, we'd all love to have a Lambo. We'd all love to have a big palatial place in somewhere sunny and sun ourselves on a beach and all that sort of stuff, right? And nobody would turn that down, right?
Mm.
But none of us are, I think, blinded or what's the word, foolish enough to think that
It's,
that's
it's not the reason.
yeah,
I'm not doing
right.
it for that. Yeah.
We're not, whereas I think a lot of people are brought into trading because they see that, like they compare themselves to somebody else, and there's this competitiveness within us to compare ourselves against other people. It's just in human nature,
Well, it
you know.
needs to be. You don't know. You don't know if it's dark if you don't have light. You don't know if it's
Exactly.
bad if you don't have good. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's natural. You have to compare yourself because otherwise, that's
Yeah.
the only way to measure something.
Yeah. But then this is the thing: is that there's that chemical dopamine fix of, like you said it earlier. You went and bought yourself a phone, right?
Just because I wanted
Yeah.
a hit.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And so then everyone else is out there on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube and everywhere else, and they're like a little worm in your ear, just going, look at this little car that I've got myself from trading, right? Now, it's not actually from trading. We know it's not actually from trading, right? It's from all the affiliate payments or all the advertising payments or anything else that people get, right? But nobody talks about it. It's all like, oh yeah, I made this from trading. No, you didn't. You might have made some money from trading, but you didn't go and buy that Lambo purely just from you trading $1 million account or something.
But there's also nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. But this is the point: is
But
that why
if it's
not?
said that it's
Why not
direct,
just say so?
yeah.
Why not say so and say, do you know what? Yeah, and that's why we do. That's why we wanted to do this podcast, right? Because we didn't want to be, oh yeah, I've got this strategy and this strategy and this and this. Oh, I've made this many hundreds of thousands. Look at my Lambo. Look at my beautiful, house and everything. That's not real. Like there are millions and millions of people out there that are trading every single day, and the proportion of them that are living that lifestyle is
Probably
is
less than one
less. It's
percent.
it's probably less than 0.1%. You know, it's literally going to be such a few people. I'm talking about retail traders here, right? I'm not talking about institutions, because obviously then those guys, they're also sitting on the nice cushy deal of having a paid gig, right? You know, they've got
And
they've
they
got
make
performance
money from
coaches.
money from
Yeah,
us trading.
exactly, exactly. But
We're the product at the end of the
yeah,
day.
but they also they are, you know, they've got the backup of institutional, you know, systems and, you know, processes and everything else to support them, to protect them, you know, to make sure that, you know, things don't go wrong, right? Just like prop firms have rules, right? Everyone complains about the prop firm rules. If you're trading for a, you know, for an international bank,
You have you have
yeah,
drawdown rules,
yeah,
you have
absolutely,
risk rules, you have the amount you can
yeah.
have on a day. Yeah, you've got all of that.
So, you know, I know people give it a hard, you know, a hard time and say, "Oh, this is unfair," and this is, you know, whatever. Like, if it was your money and you were running a hedge fund or something, you wouldn't have just a trader just going gung ho and say, "Yeah, let's just splash 100 lots on that." What? No,
No way.
you
So
know.
the question is then, is trading a good vehicle to better yourself from taking you A to B?
If you remove the personally, I think if you remove the financial, any kind of financial goal from it, and have that as a almost like a secondary benefit, if you like, then yes. I know that sounds stupid, but and a lot of people say, Mike, you're talking out your ass. Why would anyone trade if they didn't want to make money? Yes, everyone trades to make money, but if you go into it saying I'm going to make this amount of money and I'm going to do this, you're already setting yourself up for comparing yourself against somebody else or comparing yourself against this arbitrary figure. Whereas if you go into it looking at it as a journey of self-discovery, a journey of, you know, of self-learning and understanding what triggers you, what doesn't trigger you, you know, all of a sudden you learn so much more about yourself than you ever would otherwise. You know, it's one of the best mirrors that you can stick in front of yourself, I think, is trading.
So then
And it can be
the
very, very
question,
cheap or very expensive.
so it goes back to the question: is it a good vehicle to take yourself from A to B? If the B goal is to change your financial setting,
I reckon it is. I do reckon it is. But you've got to treat it with the respect, and you've got to treat it with the seriousness that it requires and that it deserves. You know, like this is why you were saying we were talking about the habits, right? 21 days, right, to change a habit. I was reading an article earlier about some people were trying out to be social media influencers, and this article was saying how they all tried it for 3 months because they said 3 months is the minimum for you to see any kind of real traction. And the thing is that if you said to me now, right, Mike, you've got to do something for the next 3 months, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, that's a long time. That's, you know, that takes me, because that takes me into 2026. That takes me to the beginning of January. And it's like, whoa, that's a big ask, isn't it? Then you think, well, hang on a second. 3 months really actually isn't much at all. Like you and I started working together at the beginning of this year,
wow,
right? That was like nine
wow.
months ago, 9, 10 months ago.
I feel like I've known you for a lot longer, mate.
Do you know what I mean, though? But exactly, do you see what I mean? And so there's this weird kind of mental block in our heads that says, that's too long, that's too hard. And that's why we're always seeking that instant result, that instant answer, you know, of trying to get to wherever it is that we want to get to. And we don't want to wait 3 months. We want it now, you know. Otherwise, it's just too much hard work. Oh, I've got to make content for 3 months to get 50 views or 50 likes or whatever. Oh, sod that. It's too much like hard work. Because we're so used to now, I think, to getting like not instant gratification, but instant results for things. And so when we can't get those instant results, it just seems like too much like hard work. Does that make sense?
100%. I think when you look back, looking back, it always seems not so long ago, but when you're looking into the future, it feels like, wow. I remember looking at some YouTubers back 4 or 5 years ago, pre-COVID times. And they were teeny. And I was like, wow, it'd be really nice doing a YouTube and starting YouTube and doing this. This is a good time, Never did it. But now I look at those guys and they're like 100,000. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that's what a little bit of compounding with time and action does.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh,
And
I
yeah,
wish I would have done. I wish I would have started back then. But
yeah,
it's like the old saying, the
100%.
best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time is today, and it's
Yeah. Do you know the other thing is as well is when you look at it and you think about how easy is it to watch that content? Like
Mhm.
people who are going to be watching or listening to this right now, it's so easy for them to sit there and just listen to what we're talking about, right? And those YouTubers that you talked about, and pre-COVID, right? You watch their content, you think, oh, that's easy, I could do that. But actually, the amount of time and effort and energy that goes into all these things is actually quite significant. You know, my missus has a really popular Instagram profile, but she has to spend so much time and effort, energy doing it that she often says to me, it's really hard to think about what do I post now, what do I share now, um, and so the illusion or the thought that there is an easy way to make money and get yourself from A to B financially, it just doesn't. I don't think it exists. I don't think it
Well,
exists. The only thing you
even
can do personally is, I think, find something, and this is credit to Scruffy because I love what he says, is do what you love and the money will follow.
yep.
That just makes the whole process that much easier.
Because if you're doing stuff that you like, you're not going against that wall,
Yeah.
trying to push through with willpower. Willpower lasts so long, and something that I'm working out with a coach of mine was, you know, why do I say I want to do certain things, but I never actually do them? I say to myself, okay, I'm going to get into the best fitness of whatever that I've been in. Why am I not waking up on time and going to the gym? Why am I doing things that are totally opposite to that? And a lot of it goes back to, obviously, back to our beliefs. Even if we talk about the stuff that we want to do with Pipped Off, for us just to sit down today,
Taking us 3 weeks.
life is just so, it moves so fast. It moves so fast. Things happen. People are there. People are there. Things happen, like wars.
Yeah.
And that's why I think the only thing that you can really fall back to are systems around goals that you want. So you
Mhm.
have a goal and you put systems in place. So if you fall back, then you do them. And it's very easy for me to say this. It's very difficult to do because at the end of the day, you've got to trust yourself that even if you fall back onto a system, you're actually going to follow through as well.
Yeah.
Um, it's difficult, man. Difficult from taking, and most of it comes back down as well to an identity.
Mhm.
We attach ourselves to an identity, and the identity is keeping us to a certain place.
Yeah.
And whenever you want to go against that identity, it's like a big, big, big rubber band.
Mhm.
Like when I was thinking back a couple of weeks ago and I wanted to get to that next level, and I thought, oh, this is going to be the thing. My rubber band was probably all the way like this. And eventually it was just waiting just to snap back to the
Yeah.
person that I am now.
Mhm.
And it's a difficult, changing identity is very, very, very difficult. But I think if you want to actually get better in anything, you have to change it. And it's very
Mhm.
sticky as well.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you asked the question, okay, do you think trading is the vehicle? Do you think it is?
Yeah. Trading, investing,
Mm.
I definitely 100%. 100%. As long as you got as long as you got your noggin working, 100%. I've seen it, felt it, know the opportunity that trading can bring, and not just not talking about day trading on 1 minute, 5 minute time frames. Like I'm not.
Who would do that?
That is a very very very
Who would do
very
something like that?
small very very small part of a life as a trader. Like that little bit, you're taking that, you're looking at overall different strategies for investing, for trading for longer periods of time, and it's just rolling into a big snowball of money that is eventually going to set you up for other things in the future. You take that money, it rolls into other things, into crypto, then crypto goes into houses, and it's growing. Like I'm growing here. Obviously I'm in a bit of a dip, but I'm still growing. I really do feel that it is something you have to control the head around it, because if these impulses, and I'm a bastard for impulses, those impulses and those periods of times where you're bored, or those periods of times where you're mentally just spent, then you look at that cheap bit of dopamine in the charts, or that feeling, and then you unravel like years worth of progression. That's why it's like up the stairs, down the elevator,
Yeah, yeah,
up
yeah,
the stairs, down the elevator. You
yeah.
can progress, you can progress, you can progress. But if you make that one mistake, you could just go back to the where you started.
Snakes and ladders.
Unfortunately, but I don't know if that is just trading. I think that also
I
happens
think
in
it's
business,
yeah,
just in
100%,
general. It
hundred
doesn't.
percent.
The guys doing ecom, the guys doing prop firms. Prop firms, people think, it's this massively successful, profitable business. The margins are probably only around about 20, 30%, 20%
Yeah,
after everything.
yeah,
You might as well just do something digital and your margins are around about 80.
yeah,
So, pick your poison, pick the vehicle that you want to use. And I do think trading, if you get it right, and try not to compare yourselves to other people, because some people have a natural act to, when they make a mistake, that they don't make it more than once. I've got the thing, if I have to make a mistake 5 or 6 times
yeah.
before I make the mistake less.
So,
not,
and that's why you and I get on so well, because
yeah,
like,
not that I
oh,
never
it's
made
like
the mistake again. I make the mistake less.
I made it one fewer times, because that next time I was like, I'm not going to do this again. So I'm gonna do it 9 times out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. You know,
But for me, that's progression. Like
yeah, step
I
by step.
step by step, because if I now say to myself, I'm never ever gonna ever make that mistake again, and then make that mistake, I'm gonna beat myself up. And that's self-loathing that I think a lot of us do when we go against what we say, spirals into more of doing the thing that you shouldn't be doing. I.e., I can say smoking. Okay.
Mhm.
In my head, I enjoy, going and smoking and whatever. But I know I've got my goal of being fit and healthy. And I
Mhm.
know smoking goes against that. And when
Mhm.
I do it, it then spirals into me doing the other things that are going against my goals. And then it turns into a dip of
Mhm.
all of those things.
Mhm.
That's
100%.
yeah.
Do you, because we mentioned about our little group that we have, I'm curious, and this is just something that I've been thinking about, because I moved my offices a few weeks ago, just before I went on holiday. I went from an open shared office to a single room, right? Completely isolated, completely my own. And I do wonder, because having that accountability, like Richard's got Anna as accountability buddies, right? And so they kind of keep each other in check and everything else. But it feels as though when you've got an accountability buddy that's the other end of WhatsApp, right? Unless you're literally going to like give them access to your accounts and everything else, and then you're counting on that person to go in and check on your accounts and check on your trades and everything else. I know that I've taken trades that I've never told you guys about because I'm just like, this was just stupid, right? And I know you've done the same, right? And you know, because you think to yourself, oh god, if Victor knew or if Jonathan knew or whatever that I'd taken this trade, they'd be just hanging their heads in shame, right? Do you think that if we were all sat in the room together, like in an institutional bank, do you think our performance would improve because we'd all be there literally over each other's shoulders, holding each other more accountable?
It's interesting because this is one of the reasons why live streaming for me actually made me a better trader.
Mm.
And it's true what you're saying, because if anybody goes onto my Instagram and they go onto some of my trades that I post on my stories, normally the trades that I post on my stories from the beginning, from when I enter to when I get out, they're really, really good trades because I've put my shit on the line.
Yeah.
I'm saying, this is the trade. I'm putting this out to the public. This is a trade that I'm taking right now.
Yeah.
All of my worst trades are the trades that I didn't even post
Yeah.
the entries,
Yeah.
because I knew,
because they were impulsive. You didn't
because they're
even have
impulsive.
time to think about it.
Yeah, they're not even C plus. They're just punts.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't put my name against them.
Mm.
And those are the trades that, like you say, you won't tell anybody about. But those are the trades. Those are the one of 1,000 cuts.
Yeah.
And those are the trades, the ones that you don't want to tell anybody about and you don't want people to know, are the ones that kill you.
Mm.
And I do think, like what you said, if there was a really strong accountability, and not like oh guys, let's keep each other accountable, let's have like a call once a week and all that fluffy BS,
Mm.
but specifically an accountability, like a planned accountability. I think that would help, and it would help a lot of people. Same with me with my coaching, with my fitness. There was one coach when I went to do a cut, and this guy was like Nazi German, like full on, like he would every single day be like, you better be on your shit. Like you
Yeah.
better, like you've eaten too much today. What's wrong with you? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And at
Yeah.
the end
He
of the
gave you
week,
hell.
I was like, I can't miss
Yeah.
this weight. Otherwise, I'm gonna get an absolute bollocking. And the
Yeah.
coach I've got now, bless him, he's super easy. He's like, you know what, bro, we're gonna work with you. Life's, and it's not really keeping me that accountable.
Do you think that's more about how you work though, in terms of motivation, rather than his? Because that does work for some people, right?
Yeah,
And the other method works for other people, right? So does that maybe say more about, are you the carrot or the stick? In terms of trying to motivate you to do something. Are you more of a carrot guy or a stick guy? It sounds like the guy you've got right now is more of a carrot guy, whereas the guy you had before is more of a stick guy.
yeah. It depends. It depends. But I think people got to understand what they need and what they want, and they can only do that while they have probably a little bit of quiet as well. Probably like when you go home or you got some time, probably don't go on this thing.
Yeah.
Probably sit just a little bit with your thoughts and just try to understand how you're feeling and what you need,
Yeah.
and then go out and try and find that.
Mhm.
I've set myself a goal with this guy right now that at the end of the month I've dropped 3 kilo,
Wow.
and having that set there,
Mhm.
having that tangible, a measurable, tangible, whatever kind of goal.
Mm.
Okay, that's a lot easier for me to get to. If we say to ourselves now, okay, I just want to be fit and healthy, or I want to be a profitable trader.
Mm. What
That's
is that?
what is that? It's so blurred. How do you measure progression? Normally, when people are sad or unhappy, it's because they're not progressing in something. It's because they're
Yeah.
stagnant.
Yeah.
Stagnant water turns into a bog,
Yeah.
but flowing water turns into a lovely stream. So it's that those are the things, and you can only do that if you've got like a tangible target. Like, let's say if you want to become a profitable trader, maybe the first thing that your goal is okay. I'm going to pass a 5K prop firm account, and then you pass that prop firm account, and then you've progressed. Maybe you blew it a couple of times. You go back. Okay, I want to pass this prop firm account. Why did I blow this account right now? Maybe it's because I've been taking trades on a London session and I keep getting trapped by blah, 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 blah. Okay, so I'm going to stop doing that. And now I'm going to go for this specific setup. My trading jumped when I got rid of 30, the 80% of the trades that really weren't working. And I just stuck to my EMA strategy of the mean reversion.
Yeah.
And it just blew up.
Mm.
So
What's
tangible goals, I think.
What's taken you off course from that then? Do you think, with the dip that you're having right now?
The leverage.
Really?
Yeah. The leverage. Because I've had a couple of opinions over the past couple of years around leverage. If you have a look at different videos or different live streams, you would see the way that my opinion is kind of changed. If you ask me when I was first starting, leverage was best. Needed leverage, you want to make big money. Then it went into, okay, no, you need to be conservative leverage because leverage is very, very addictive. And if you lose, then you're chasing that feeling that you've got with big numbers.
100%.
Which is true, which is very, 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 very true. I have been addicted to leverage. I've been addicted to big numbers and found it very, very difficult to trade small because I'm so used to bigger size. And then I would cut that down, and then I'd be sticking to my mind onto that thing. And over the last 6 months, I've been pushing myself to get bigger and bigger and trading bigger and making bigger profits. And then it got to the point where, okay, now I've got myself. Rich talked about this actually with me. He said, you're always looking for that bigger thrill in anything. And that's why you keep pushing to the bigger size, because you get used to a certain amount of size and it doesn't give you a thrill anymore. So you need to get bigger. But now you've got to a place in trading, you can't get bigger.
Yeah.
Like you can't with the prop firm accounts, because you're not doing this with a personal account. I haven't got, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars that I can go up 100 lots in a personal account. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
But prop firm accounts with all of them attached, you can. And he says, you there's no way for you now to get any more of a buzz. So you blow. And you make these mistakes. And I think I had those big days, but I was still looking for that buzz. It wasn't just the 17K. I wanted the 20K. I wanted a 20K payout. I wanted people to see that 20K payout. Yeah. I wanted to be the person that could get that 20K payout, even though I already the couple of weeks before I already had a big payout. Anyway, I just wanted more and more. I wanted that buzz, and that's my detriment. The validation I get from trying to make the big money or seeing that big thing, and at the end of the day, it's coming from the leverage. What I need to do is cut down my leverage, go back down to 1.5%, and just take it easy and take my focus away from now being this thing or being this person, and just being the person that can actually be consistent. If I can take my brain and say, I get a buzz from being consistent, I will change everything with my trading. I won't be so much boom and bust.
Yeah. Question is, how do you change your brain to get that? Because ultimately it's all driven by that dopamine.
It's all driven by the reward
and consistency and routine doesn't generate dopamine, because to that very, what you explained precisely is that your brain gets used to the level of dopamine that it produces when you hit that particular payout. Okay, next please. Bored of that now. Give me something more. There's like this constant need for it, isn't it? And how do you train your monkey brain to not want to go for the next big hit? It's like it's literally addiction on anything,
It's
because
addiction.
it's all addiction.
It's addiction.
It's addiction to sugar. It's addiction to alcohol. It's addiction to cigarettes. It's addiction to gambling, to drugs, to trading. It's all addiction. Social media, all of it, each and every single one of them produces a chemical reaction in your brain that your brain then goes, "Oh, that was good. Let's do that again. Let's have a repeat of that feeling. That felt really good. Let's go chase it." I don't know what I don't know. I haven't found the answer yet, and I'm sure there is a very simple answer, and maybe ChatGPT will tell us or something. But I don't know what the answer is to restrain that kind of that instinctive desire to pump yourself with more dopamine and to get that next hit of dopamine. I don't know what that is, and I do think things like exercise and that sort of stuff help. But is that the answer, that we should we all, like in that episode of what's it called, Black Mirror, all just be sitting on treadmills and just riding bikes forever? Is that our future? Is that we should all just be doing that to just be healthy and that's it? It sounds like a bit of a crappy existence.
It's difficult. I wish I had the answer.
Mm.
The only thing that I'm trying to do now is understand my triggers, and because I want to get back to where I was at, not on a monetary basis, mentally, but that's more important than. So it's just placing which thing is more important to you. Is more important to me now getting that all of those big payouts and all of that validation, or is it actually what it's more important to me to actually feel back in, on my A game? So if that's more important to me, then I'm going to do the things that are going to get me closer to that. And the more that I feel closer to that, that's more it's going to motivate me, and my dopamine is going to come from the things that are doing to get me to that goal, because that's my ultimate goal. That's the way that I'm trying to position it in my brain. Has it worked? I don't know, because I'm still coming through the back end of that. And I think I will only know in hindsight when we have another conversation in probably about 6 months, when we're in very different places, because I know we'll be in very, very different places
Sure.
in 6 months, if it worked, and if it has done something, and if that I can do that, then I would love to help people do the same thing, because that thing holds us all back, and it is so sticky. It's so sticky, and it's heartbreaking as well, because you progress, you go up the next stair, up the next stair, up the next stair, and you get to a certain place down the elevator.
Yeah.
So we will see.
I mean, so I was live trading on live stream for well over 6 months, right? From what was it? We started in March. I think we started live streaming.
Yeah.
We started live streaming in March, and I stopped at the end of August, basically when we paused ABL, and I just said, look, I'm not gonna do any live streams anymore, so I can focus all my time and my attention on the educational platform and the future version of ABL. What's interesting is since then, since the beginning of September, so it's just over a month has gone by. I haven't gone out and bought any random prop accounts. I haven't been trading anything. I have one 100k boot camp account, P1, phase one, that I've been trading throughout the month, basically, but not religiously, on and off when I've had time. It hasn't been the best of trading. And if I'm honest with you, when I was on holiday, it was kind of like just kind of almost
Like a
in a
game.
weird, in a weird kind of way, or not even a game. It
Soothing.
was, yeah, it was weird. At certain points, I was like, I'm just I'm gonna put this. I didn't even have the account on my phone. I had to put the account on my phone so that I could trade. And I was just like, I'm just gonna open up a chart on my MT5. Didn't even look at Trading View really. Just look at MT5. Thought, yeah, that looks like a sell. Okay, let's give it a go. Let's see what happens. And I just traded the P&L up and down, up and down, up and down. And I didn't. I maybe took probably 1 or 2 trades a day, if that. I think it was probably. In fact, it was probably only about Wednesday or Thursday I took a couple of trades actually, because I think the first few days I didn't even do it. I haven't blown the account yet, but I haven't. I've got a very different approach. I feel like I've got a very different approach to my trading than I did when I was live streaming. There's less.
What's the approach?
It just doesn't seem to matter as much. It just doesn't seem to be as
Priority.
all-consuming. Yeah, like I'll have. Like there will be days I won't lie, there have been days in the past month where I have sat down, I've spent like 3 hours on the charts and just been like chasing winners or chasing trades and what have you. And then there are other days where I'm just like, nah.
Is that because of a feeling, or is that more because there's nothing on the chart?
I think it's more of a feeling actually. It's not so much about there not being something on the chart. Because if I wanted to find something on the chart, I'd find something. There's just this feeling of whatever, take it or leave it kind of thing. There's still this passion. There's still this drive. There's still this energy and this kind of willingness and desire to make something from it. But I think what I've done is by taking myself off live stream, I've taken the spotlight off of, are you funded yet? Did you make that payout yet? And I've still got that spotlight on myself because it's still something I want to achieve for my own sense of satisfaction. But it hasn't. There's not that urgency. Maybe I don't know. Do you know what I mean?
I think that's, if you can hold on to that and then only trade when you see one of your setups, that's the ultimate place.
Yeah.
That's the place where you want to be. Place where you're just sitting down, especially when we're in a job, because we're in jobs that literally the charts are in front of us all the time. Like I can't just take off and just do something for a few hours. I'm in front of that is my job.
Yeah.
And to be into a place where you just look and you're just totally still and you only take a trade because, okay, it's there. That's a good place to be if you can hone in on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, doing something for ourselves. My thing I'm doing is I'm going, so after the week last week, I've been saying for about a month now that I found a really good like fitness health center place where they've got a good gym and a really good pool. So my plan is that I'm going to sign up for them because of the holiday and because I'm going to London next week. I was like, right, I'm not going to pay for a membership that I can't then use properly. So when I get back from London, my plan is I'm going to get a membership, and at least I want to do at least twice a week where I'm going down there, and even if it's just swimming, because my health problems mean I can't do heavy, like intense workouts because my balance just gets screwed. Like my right sided balance is it's screwed since I was 17, and there's nothing they can do about it. So my hope is that I can start to build up that routine and that 21 day, that 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it is, that routine that I need to build up. turns into a month, turns into 2 months, turns into 3 months, and then, like you said, in 6 months, you and I are going to sit down. We're going to go very different places now. This is where we are now.
That actually keeps me quite excited as well.
Yeah,
because this is for me that turns this into actually a little bit of a check-in.
mm-hmm.
And wouldn't it be shit if we came back in 6 months' time, or we came back in a few months, and I'd be like, oh, Mike,
Well, in fairness,
I've got to find a different industry, man. I've done my arse and everything.
The only problem we've got is that we actually need to publish these podcasts for there to be any accountability. Otherwise, it's just going to be between you and I right now. So,
That's true.
so we
We're
got to,
getting closer to that as well.
yeah.
I think
I
by the
think a
time
couple
this
more
comes,
episodes.
yeah, by the time this comes out, there would already be like two or three in the canon, and they've been scheduled. And there should be clips on YouTube and clips on Instagram, and if I do my job properly, and people should hopefully people will be excited because they can actually chill with us. And
Yeah,
I'm sure there's other people in the same position.
there has to be. There can't not
There
be.
can't just be. I don't believe that it's just me and you in this position.
There's no way. There's no way. The laws of average state that it can't be possible. You know,
Yeah.
we have tried to publish and kind of share the fact that we're doing this podcast, and we haven't had any stories submitted.
No, I haven't done
Unfortunately.
that.
You haven't done it. Oh,
I
that's why
haven't
then.
done it. That's
Okay.
all right. Yeah,
I've been spamming and trolling in various different chats and things like that. Asking people for stories, but I think people are shy naturally because it's
when
hard
they
to get
don't
vulnerable,
as well,
right?
when they can't see. Once people start seeing, and I think start understanding the conversation that we have,
Yeah.
they're more naturally going to want to maybe share their story as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
sharing stories brings things to light, and things to
Mm.
light you can actually do stuff about.
Yeah.
Noticing, and one of the biggest things I've been working with my coach is noticing things, noticing the feelings, and noticing. You can only do that if you actually highlight, if you bring stories, if you tell stories, if you bring them out in the open. But because if you hold everything in all the time,
100%.
you're never going to fix any issue that you've currently got. You have to talk, you have to bring it out into the open, you have to notice it. You don't have to tell everybody, but you have to work with it. So I
100%.
think these are going to be
100%.
turning into therapy sessions, aren't they?
At least just for you and I, more than anyone else.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
dear.
All
Cool.
right then, dude. Nice
Good to
one.
catch up, mate. Speak to you
Nice
soon.
one. Speak to you soon.